The first technique, I call this the 80-20 approach to skill acquisition, which is based on the Pareto principle. And here is the core idea. In almost any skill, roughly 20% of the knowledge or techniques will give you roughly 80% of the results. Think about that for just a second. Most of what separates a complete beginner from someone who is genuinely competent isn't mastering every tiny detail. It's mastering the core fundamentals. Let me give you a concrete example from my own life. A number of years ago, I needed to learn data visualization for a project. Now, I could have enrolled in a comprehensive 6-month boot camp covering every visualization tool under the sun, but I didn't have 6 months. I had 3 weeks. So here's what I did instead. I spent my first day researching the true essentials. What do most data professionals actually use day to day? I talked to 5 people already doing that type of work. I scoured job postings to see what skills kept appearing. And what I discovered was that if I could just master 3 chart types in Power BI and understand basic data storytelling principles, I could handle about 80% of the work that I needed to do. That's the 80-20% approach in action. But here's where most people mess this up. They identify the 20% correctly, but then they still try to learn it as if they're aiming for 100% mastery. They read entire textbooks. They watch every tutorial they can find, and they get stuck in learning mode forever. Instead, here's what you do. Once you've identified your critical 20%, set a tight deadline. I'm talking days, not months. For that data visualization project, I gave myself 1 week to reach working competence, not mastery, not expertise, working competence. And here's the key move that makes this work. You have to build projects while you learn, not after. Most people consume information first and then think that they'll apply it later. That's backwards. You pick a real project, even a small one, and you learn exactly what you need as you build it. For my data viz example, I didn't do practice exercises. I started building the actual dashboard I needed for my project on day 1. I learned what a histogram was and immediately built one with real data. I ran into a problem. I Googled the specific solution. Needed to add a filter, looked up exactly how to do that. No fluff, no extraneous information, just in time learning. The beautiful thing about this approach is that it forces you to focus. You can't get distracted by interesting tangents because you have a deadline and a specific deliverable. And the learning sticks because you are applying it immediately in real context. So let me break down the action steps for you on this one. Step number 1 is to identify the specific skill that you want to learn. Be precise, not something like, I want to learn marketing, but I want to learn how to run effective LinkedIn ad campaigns. Step 2 is to research the 20%. Talk to practitioners, look at job descriptions, find the patterns in what actually gets used. Step 3 is to set that tight deadline for working competence, 1 to 2 weeks max for most skills. Step 4 is to pick a real project to build while you learn, something you actually need or something that mimics real world work. Step number 5 is to learn just in time, not just in case. Only consume information right before you need to apply it. This approach has saved me literally hundreds of hours of learning time over my career. And the skills stick because they're connected to a real application on day 1.